Welcome to our second evening of interviews, and this evening we've got another interview with a member of our church family, and this evening we're going to be thinking about the question, can we be certain in our decisions? And just to help us think through that question a little further, we have Richard, who's one of our church members, to join us. So welcome, Richard, lovely to have you with us. Thank you for joining us. Richard, perhaps it might be helpful at the start if you were able to just say a little bit about yourself.
Yes, thanks, Kath. Yeah, I'm a member of the church. I've been a member about 25 years or so. I'm married to my wife, Anne. We've got 3 children and 4 grandchildren now. And I retired at the end of March, just as lockdown began.
Gosh, so how has that been?
It was a bit strange because it just meant things just came to end and you went home and have been here ever since and just sort of fizzled out, really.
Yeah, it really has been strange times for you, gosh. So Richard, I'm aware that you are a former civil servant. I just wondered it might be helpful if you can tell us a little bit about what your job involved, what your role was, if that's okay.
Yeah, I worked for a government agency. It was part of DEFRA, Department for Environment, Food and Rural Affairs, and we had our primary role was a biosecurity one, which was really attempting to prevent pests and diseases that would affect plants, damage the environment, damage our ability to grow food crops and ornamental crops, and try and stop them getting established. So we had a sort of seek and destroy mission where you have to go and look, because you can't be sure you're absolutely free of something unless you've gone and looked and recorded it's not there. But if you find it, you have to then contain it and eradicate it. And there was a whole raft of regulations all associated with that we had to enforce and ensure were being applied properly.
Gosh, Richard, I think I've known you for many years and I don't think I've ever fully known what your job involves. So yeah, thank you. I long to ask more questions, but we will move on that one. Just say, did your job, it sounded like it did your job involve quite a lot of decision making?
Yes, when you're an inspector in a field, you have to make some decisions on the hoof, but as it were. But later in my career, I stepped in a managerial role and had responsibility for certain aspects of policy and how we applied them across England. And as soon as I took that role, I realised you have to make decisions. People would come to you and ask your opinion on how they should apply this, what they should do in this situation. As someone said to me, you've just got to make a decision. You've just got to use the information you've got to hand, your judgment, and make a call.
You know, Richard, at this time particularly, I think we long for leadership. We long for solutions. Thinking back to the original question, can we be certain in our decisions? How does your faith, in what ways does it perhaps affect how you view decisions, or perhaps put your hope in decisions?
Yeah, one of the things you learn very quickly is that hindsight's a wonderful thing, and you can always look back and say, oh, I think I got that one wrong, or not sure I got that right. But one of the things I found about my faith gave me was the confidence to make decisions and accept that I'm going to get some of those calls wrong and we're going to have to go back and revisit them. And it's because I'm loved by God, accepted, forgiven by the most important person in the universe, basically. And that's where my sense of self-worth and identity comes from. And because he's the most important person, he matters more than anyone. So it's his opinion that matters, not the people around me. So that, in a sense, freed me up to make decisions, accept I'll get some wrong, have to go back and revisit them and change it. But I can do that because I'm not fearful of what other people think of me. I'm not trying to prove myself to other friends and colleagues that I'm this wonderful manager who always gets everything right and is totally competent. I think the important thing, I used to say to people underneath me, the important thing is you've got to make a decision, sometimes make it quick. As long as you can show me you just use the information behind and it was the best judgment you can make at the time. If it turns out it was the wrong decision, we'll go back, revisit, and we'll correct it. And so that freed me up in that sense to have the courage. It could still be a bit scary at times, but to just get on and make a decision and say, right, this is how we'll do it, because it wasn't my colleagues whose opinion mattered. It was the creator universe, my God, and he already fully accepted and loved me anyway.
That's really helpful. Thank you, Richard. And you mentioned the Bible earlier. I wondered if there's anything that's in the Bible that have been particularly helpful as you think through the whole area of decision making at all for you. One particular couple of verses in Proverbs, they say, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your paths straight. You very quickly learn that human beings are not perfect. We have to make decisions and we get them wrong, and we can't know completely what the outcome's going to be, but we have a God who knows the past, present and future. He's not caught by surprise by anything such as pandemics or anything. He has a plan, and he's working for our good, and he loves us. And because we're Christians, we know where we're going. Our hope is certain. We have an eternal, certain future. So we have that assurance. And so if I trust in him rather than my own judgment, trust in his laws, commands, what the Bible says, this is how you should live, that is a great help and stops me from sort of falling into a sense of despair because the world doesn't seem to be going the way I hoped it would do, or things are falling apart. I know there's someone I can trust in who is in control all the time, is never caught by surprise, and assures me of what my future is. Thank you, Richard. That's really helpful. Really appreciate you sharing that. And I think, as you say, in these sort of wobbly, uncertain times, there's a real hope, isn't there? We see in that verse there's a real hope, and a hope as we put our trust in the Lord Jesus as Christians. So thank you again for sharing with us. I'm really grateful for you being talking about your job, but also about your faith and being honest with us. We appreciate it very much. And for all those who are watching, we will be having another video tomorrow lunchtime. And tomorrow we will be asking the question, where is God's plan to fix the world? Where is God's plan to fix the world? And then we will be back here tomorrow evening for another interview with someone else in our church family. So lovely to see you, and we hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you.